Let's be real for a second. What do people actually think when they first see you? It happens in a flash, and believe me, it's about way more than just your clothes. Today, we're going to break down the science and strategy behind personal presentation and how you can, take control of the message you're sending from that very first moment.
7 seconds. That's it. That is all you get. All the research points to this. In just 7 seconds, someone has already formed a pretty solid impression of you. Not a minute, not even 30 seconds, just 7. It is a shockingly short window to make your mark, isn't it?
And that, right there, leads to the most important question of all. Before you even have a chance to say hello, your appearance has already told a story. So what story are you telling in that completely silent introduction?
Now, I want to be super clear about something. This isn't about being superficial or fake. Not at all. This is about understanding how our brains are literally wired. We're about to dive into the fascinating and, yes, sometimes totally unconscious psychology behind how we instantly size each other up.
So, psychologists have this great term for this rapid-fire judgment. They call it thin slicing. It's our brain's incredibly efficient, and let's be honest, sometimes flawed way of making snap judgments. You can think of it like a mental shortcut, kind of like a survival tool for quickly assessing people and situations. And here's the thing. We all do it all the time, which means people are doing it to you every single day.
Okay, so when our brain is doing this thin slicing thing on another person, what's the very first piece of data it grabs onto? Yep, it's your appearance. Before you share your amazing ideas or your awesome personality, your visual presentation has already handed over a whole bunch of data for the other person's subconscious to chew on.
So, if we want to manage that first impression, we need to know what it's made of, right? Personal presentation really stands on 2 main pillars. They're separate ideas, but they have to work together to create one single powerful message. Let's dig into what they are.
Okay, so on one side, you've got attire. This is pretty straightforward. It's what you wear. The clothes, the shoes, the whole shebang. Think of it as the fabric of your message. Then, on the other side, there's grooming. This is all about how you care for yourself. Your hair, your skin, all those little details. This is the polish on that message. You really do need both to make it work.
All right, let's break down the language of what you wear. Your attire. First up, there's fit. I mean, a well-fitting outfit just looks intentional, it looks sharp. Poorly fitting clothes, they can kind of signal that you don't care. Then there's context. A tuxedo at a barbecue is going to send a really weird message, right? It's all about matching your clothes to the situation. And finally, color. Color has a huge psychological impact. Blues can signal trust, while, a splash of red can project a ton of confidence and power.
And now for grooming. Look, hygiene is the absolute foundation. That's just non-negotiable. Next is what I call polish. This is about the small details that show you made an effort. Neat hair, clean fingernails, things like that. And last, there's cohesion. This is just about making sure it all works together. A wild hairstyle might kind of clash with a super conservative suit, and that just sends a confusing mixed message.
Okay, so we've got the theory down, but how do we actually put this into practice without getting totally overwhelmed? Well, I want to give you a really simple, practical framework. I call it the intentionality audit. But before we jump in, let me just say this is not about a strict dress code or trying to shove you into some kind of box. It is all about one-word alignment. It's about making sure that what people see on the outside is a true reflection of your goals and who you really are on the inside.
Here's how it works. It's a really simple 3-step process. Step 1, define your goal. What's the main message you want to get across? Do you want people to see you as creative, authoritative, super approachable? Get specific. Step 2, analyze your current presentation. And be honest. Take a look at your clothes, your grooming. Do they actually support that goal? And finally, step 3, align and adjust. Find the gaps and then just make small intentional changes to close them.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's pull back and look beyond just the surface level. Yeah, we've talked about clothes and grooming, but what we're really talking about here is power. It's the power to take control of your own story from that very first second.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the whole idea. Personal presentation isn't about becoming someone else. It's not about wearing a costume. It's about being authentic. It's about getting rid of any visual static so that the world can see who you truly are, loud and clear. So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought. Every single morning when you get dressed, you have a choice. You're not just picking out clothes. You are actively choosing how you are going to show up in the world. It's a real act of intention. So, my question for you is, tomorrow, who will you decide to be?